this is Chris Ringler of the Spooky Chris Podcast, and you are listening to the Spooky Chris Podcast. Hopefully you found your way to my website, spookychris.com. But however you're listening, I appreciate you stopping by. This is my kind of micro podcast, randomness, weirdness, stories, and stuff about my stories. I'm a writer, couple-time filmmaker, horror event coordinator in General Oddball, living in Michigan. So as we near the end of the year, I figured it was a decent time just to kind of look back. And it's one of those things where it's not like you, random person listening, care about like the year I've had, because we're all kind of going through our own thing. But you know, I think it doesn't hurt for any of us to kind of see commonality in what we're all going through, and what we've all been through. This has been, I mean, to say that this has been a year is really soft selling it quite a bit. It has been a year times 3. When you think of everything that has happened this year, it's hard to kind of keep it all in mind and in perspective, to be sure. Because where do you start? Do you start with the virus, the social issues, the political issues? What do you look at and kind of go, oh, yeah, that was a year. For myself, the weirdness of the year really is the idea that my wife and I went through an entire pregnancy while I've been working remotely, as many of us have been. But that was and is the strangest thing. My daughter's now nearly 50 days old, and she came a smidge early on us. But even so, we went from, basically conception time to her birth, and now past it, and I am still working remote, which is so strange. It's great. It's great to be able to have been available for my wife and now my baby during this time. But it's been strange because there's so much that we didn't get to do, which all of us kind of sacrificed this year, whether we wanted to or not. But it's strange to go through that whole thing. We did the my family's baby shower remotely, and everybody else kind of just sent us things, and we started a little Facebook group for the baby just so people could kind of keep up on her and us and the whole process. But it's weird, and I'm sure, as I saw something on the news today, that they're expecting a baby boom coming soon, which, despite the strife, it makes sense. People are, we're together more, one way or another. So it makes sense that one's coming, but it is a strange time, and it's a strange time to welcome a baby in, with so much going on socially, politically, and to feel comfortable with bringing a child into this world. It's strange. I know, for many years, I never wanted a kid, never wanted kids, and some of it was shown this year, the social issues, the political issues, the environmental issues. It's how do you want to bring someone into that? But I also think that it's going to take people to change it, and we can't just stop the world, because it's going to take time too. So my heart changed. And, all of it's been a strange process. But going through everything we've gone through, having the kiddo, and everything else, it's weird. It's so weird. In this, in this environment and in this world kind of we're in. But it's weird, but it's a good weird. Like there's definitely bad weirds, and this is a good weird. Otherwise I worked on some stuff writing wise I've been working on. I finished work on a sequel novel to my novel Roadkill, called Road Killers. It was a book when I wrote the original when I was a kid, teenager, and lost it, and it always haunted me that I never ever finished it. So to have the opportunity to finish it was great. I loved that. But even back then I had started a sequel to the book called Road Killers. So that was also kind of on my mind as well, wanting to kind of get back to that whole story thing. So last fall, I had put out a book, kind of with one of my little personal myth cycles, and tied it to Roadkill and Road Killers via a side character that pops up. So it kind of created a weird trilogy based around the town I kind of made up. But it felt good finishing Road Killers. I still don't know what I feel. I finally released it in November, and I mean we're in COVID, so I can't. Usually I go and I'll do a couple shows to promote it and to sell it, and can kind of do that, and even maybe do more than a couple, but haven't been able to do that for a while. I mean, I have 3 books I've released now that haven't been promoted, really, which is strange. It's just a weird kind of thing. In the spring, I put out a book I wrote last fall called Whispers, Ted Tenson Whispered Wishes. It's a wordy title. But I love that book, and it bums me out that I haven't been able to kind of get it out in front of people. You can only do so much promotion passively online, and then when you get into kind of investing money into it, it's like, so what do you invest in? Facebook runs on algorithms, so is it really getting into people, or is it getting into bot farms, or is it getting in front of people who don't care? I have never tried Twitter or Instagram. Maybe that'll work, but also it's the same kind of thing. People on Instagram, you're looking at your feed, and maybe once in a while people are looking at the hashtag or something, but you're looking and going. Like I don't think it's very often you're going to follow up on stuff like at my level. And Instagram, I've never tried it. So again, I ignore all the ads. Like they annoy me. So it's just we're at a time where, how do you advertise? Like that's why shows were so important. But with COVID, I don't know when I can do shows. Even we do have a horror collective, and next year's our 10-year anniversary. And we had to cancel everything except for one event we did virtually this year. And I don't know how next year looks. Like I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable ever putting people at a risk where they could go somewhere and catch something like this. And I don't know how we're going to trust one another, because the fact is that, if 80% of us get the vaccine and we're great, there's still 20% that don't believe in vaccines, that don't believe in COVID, that don't believe in anything. So it's like, I don't want to catch from them. And how do you know who those people are outside of like their crazy postings online and that kind of a thing? It's how do you feel comfortable doing any of that stuff? And I don't know. I certainly don't feel comfortable putting people at risk, but I don't know how you can't just pretend that the world doesn't go forward, and you can't cancel everything forever. But I don't know how you move forward, and I don't know how we will. so I got to figure it out. You know, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. It's just I don't know what to do. And especially bring away from the group and back to me. I don't know what, because I have. So I wrote those 2 books, or I put out those 2 books. I wrote, I collected a book for next year and wrote some new stories for that. That'll all be monster stories. I had written a fair amount of monster stories back in the day, and wrote some more kind of hitting on classic monsterish kind of ideas. And my intention is to put out in 2021, but again, like, okay, so I I put these 2 books out, 3 kind of, and the world kind of shrugs because, it weirds me out when people sell to their friends. They keep promoting and over and over and over, whatever they do, their creative endeavor. And it's great, like, your friends may be your patron. They may be a customer, if you will. But you got to go beyond that, because I don't want to keep selling to the same people. And there's a point where familiarity breeds contempt, where they're like, cool, you put that out, great. Like, after the first one, the novelty is over, and they're kind of like, yeah, we know. You do that. Like, well, I do stuff too, because everybody has stuff they do. It's like, cool, like, I do, this marketing thing. I sell soap. I sell, whatever. And it kind of just creates a circle, and we got to break that out. So that's what I'm trying to do, and not to keep selling to the same people. Or trying to. But yeah, I have that set to come out next year. I have a kid's book I wrote in memoriam of my mother-in-law, which has sat around and still waiting for some art. That may hit next year. And then I wrote a weird kind of straight fiction book, which I got to get into an edit. I got to get it into edit for the other one too. But like, I want that to come out next year. And as I record this, I'm waiting to find out if a book I wrote in a month for someone on kind of spec that was supposed to come out. I mean, it technically should have been released yesterday, and then it keeps getting pushed back. So I don't know where that stands. And that would have been my first book through a publisher. So I don't know where that stands. So it's a strange time. And like I said, my creative endeavors with the group. It's hard to do when you're events group. It's hard to know what to do. Like, I didn't really attend any online events this year. Like, I just, I'd get too distracted. Like, I have to actually kind of go and be there and do it. So it's weird. I don't know what that looks like. So, I mean, I guess I did watch, oh my gosh, I've watched almost 350 movies this year, which is crazy to me. It's crazy. But again, like, when you have the time, you can do that. And I was working from home. I played through a couple video games, I think, or at least finished one, got halfway through another one, whatever. I think Mank was the best movie I saw this year, I think. Best horror movie was probably Invisible Man, though The Host was awfully good. Best album is probably Mr. Bungle's re-release. I feel like they re-recorded The Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny, and that was just amazing. That was kind of the kick in the pants that the year needed for me. It's, and it was funny because we're all so excited for the end of the year, despite the fact that the baggage goes with us. So it's not like, and we do this every year, we all kind of get romantic about the turning of the year and the future and the past and all these things. And it's like the baggage is still with us. It's never gone. Those kind of Marley chains and weights, they're still with us. We just have to figure out a way to get stronger to drag them more easily or cut them free. So it's not like January 1st or January 2nd, all of the problems we had this year are gone, because they're not. So there's lots of work to do for all of us individually and as a collective. And, and I'm excited to see, we have this new kid, this kiddo with this new daughter, and so much hope. And, that's going to be, it's an adventure. It's scary. Holy cow. It's one of those things where you never, where you don't understand something until you do it. And I get that now, for sure. So we're just kind of taking day by day and seeing where this all goes with her, because she is a Spitfire. My own, I was supposed to make a film last year, and it keeps getting pushed back. I wrote a part of a story, a part of a screenplay, like an episode for an anthology, and they filmed most of that and part, a good chunk of the movie. This year we did it as safely as reasonable. We all masked up and did all that earlier in the summer. And then as things got worse and worse, I didn't feel comfortable doing it anymore, and just hit a point where I was just too exhausted to pull those kind of hours. But that'll be interesting to see how that turns out, because I think what I wrote was really fun, so I hope it translates. It was kind of a giallo slasher, so like what I wrote, so we'll see. But friend, I hope you have survived this year and are finding ways to thrive, whoever you are, because I don't think there's many but a couple that listen. 2021's a new opportunities, so we've got to kind of keep our options open and keep moving forward, and find the ways to connect and to keep connecting. I will hope that we don't see the end of theaters. I can't fathom that day is here yet. Like, I think more things will move to streaming, but I think we're going to want to go out and get out. So we'll see. I know I do. I want to be out into the world again. I am desperate for that. It's weird to see how conventions have still tried to move on, but man, there's such a grift right now. Like the pricing on celebrity things, because we're all kind of stuck at home, is insane, and it's I mean literally it's a grift. It's a ripoff. I saw one, and somebody I admire the hell out of, and they wanted $185 for 2 minutes of a one-on-one video thing, and I'm like, no, because you literally can't even introduce yourself in 2 minutes. So what impactful thing can you or they say in 2 minutes? No. That's just crazy to me. You stay safe, friend. Think and ruminate on your year, just because it's always good to kind of think on that, the past, the future, where we are, where we were, and then the plan for the future and the plan to move ahead, because good, bad, or indifferent, we got to keep moving. You take care. Happy New Year, friend, and we'll talk more in 2021.